Well, yeah, as you know, I do sketch comedy. Thank you. But I play a lot of different characters and voices and stuff. So, you just have to be on top of things, which is always fun. And
Well, hold on. Do you want me to turn on laughter or not?
yeah, you can turn on laughter. Laughter is good for the soul. That's what I say. That's
Great.
for sure, especially when you're quarantined here in Florida.
So I have a question for Jackie Mason.
What kind of question would you like to ask?
Related to the coronavirus. And
Wait, this Corona. Let me tell you something. I'd rather drink an entire bottle of Manischewitz. It's much better. It tastes better. It's kosher. And Corona. Who wants to drink a beer named after a terrible disease? That's what I say.
So,
I hear there are a lot of Jews. Like, how are the Jews dealing with Corona as opposed to, like, there are a lot more Jews than non-Jews?
It is true. And speaking of Corona, it looks like Mr. Jake Young Turks over there has got a whole bunch. Gewalt. I haven't seen that much beer since I was at a bar. Nobody even knows what that is anymore. But the fact is, all the Yidlach, they're kvetching, they can't take it. They want this Corona thing to go away so they can go back to their mikvahs and go back to their kiddushin. And all of a sudden, they want to make a l'chaim and do this and that. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Gewalt, I can't even touch somebody within 6 feet of me. So yeah, it's an emglik. What can I tell you?
Thank you.
It's a problem, It's I don't know. Thank you.
I love Jackie. It's
if you say the same exact thing, but you throw in the word 1%, 99% every here and there, you could pull off a good Bernie Sanders.
That's a very good segue, by the way.
It's a great segue because I have a question.
How could I have known?
Bernie, how are you handling quarantine?
Well, to make it very clear to you, speaking of the top 1%, as you know, I am right now stuck in my basement and I am sequestered. And I'm a very lonely man. I don't get out much. Let's face it. Nobody even knows who I am anymore because Joe Biden was kicking my tuchus, but I digress. So the fact of the matter is that I am taking it one day at a time, which was one of my favorite TV shows growing up in the 1970s and 80s, but because I'm old. I'm older than Methuselah, let's face it. Now, by the way, what kind of drinks do you have there, Mr. Turks? I could use a little l'chaim, if you don't mind. Oh, Gewalt, he's got Corona. You want to spread it to me? First of all, I'm 114 years old. I can't take it. I may not get out alive, believe me. Look, everybody here is drinking but me. All right.
We're going to now ask Bibi a question. Bibi Netanyahu, what's your take on the Haredi draft?
Well, the Haredim, they're very cold, which is why there's a draft. So they have to keep warm. They have to wear a lot of tzitzit, a little bit tzitziyot. They have to wear. You have to have keves, a little bit of wool. You have to keep warm. And that's really the best way to combat the cold. And wear a dubon. The dubonim, ze mamash mitsuyan, ze madhim, be'emet madhim. I like these jackets because they keep you warm, especially when you're doing miluim, you're in the army and everything. But no, on a serious note, it's very difficult right now. And we are doing everything we can to try to alleviate all this pressure and to make our lives a little bit easier. So eventually we will get back to politics as usual.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, my next question is for George W. Bush. Can you
right over here. It's nice to be part of the Kumsitz. It's a lot of fun. I haven't gone out to a stiebel since February. But, it's been very tough.
What are you eating in quarantine? I heard you make
it's a good question. We got some friends from Cabot out here in Crawford, and they're making me some carrot simis and some of that gefiltered fish. It's not easy drinking that from a bottle. It gets stuck in my nose. Dick Cheney, by the way, sends his warmest regards, and he'd like to make your quorum eventually when this thing passes. Hi. Laura says hi, by the way, chilling face.
I've got a question for Bill Clinton.
Right here.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
Tell
What
us.
would you like to know? Well, I'll tell you, I am the king of being Shomer Nagaya. It's a fact. And a lot of people don't realize that social distancing saves a lot of lives. Now, I did not practice that with Monica Lewinsky, and I regret that. I really
you went
do.
there. Good for
And
you.
a few other Shannon Maidlock along the
All
way.
right.
But we're going to keep it PG. The fact is, we have to keep a distance of 6 feet, refrain from touching and hugging and anything else that involves shomer nagia. That is the key word, and that could save a lot of lives.
Jake has a question.
One second. President Clinton, tell for us who is the killer from Jeffrey Epstein, and after maybe you did it. You tell for us, please.
I did not. I'm going to say it once. I'll say it again, Mr. Turks. I did not have. I mean, sorry, wrong line.
Oh, man.
I did not
Come
kill
on.
Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, look, I don't want to leave him hanging, but the fact is, something happened, and I was not there. I do have an alibi. I can swear by it. Her name was Rita. It was a shiksa.
President Trump. President Trump.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Good to see you, Mr. Turks. You're looking great, by the way. You did a great
Okay,
job.
by the way, I look
Thank you for
fantastic.
sitting down,
Everybody
by the
says,
way.
but the new light bulbs, they make
Zits
my
in a
face
vec.
look orange.
Zits in a vec. It's a
They
good word, believe
make
me.
my face, they make my face look orange. Looks
Ivanka
orange,
taught
the
me
new
that,
light bulb.
believe me. We speak a lot of Yiddish at the Trump household. And, you know, I want to talk about the situation right now. We got Stiebel Joe Biden. And something's wrong with Joe. He wants to open up every single mikvah, every single synagogue amidst this terrible coronavirus. And it's a terrible thing, believe me. A lot of people are suffering. And I told Joe Biden, stay in your basement. Don't go to a shtibel. Pray to God. But don't be with a large constituency of people. Not good.
I have a question for Chris Rock. When's your next special coming out?
Who's Chris Rock?
Chris Rock.
You don't do a Chris. Yeah, I
Get
thought you knew how to do a
involved.
Chris.
Okay, hold on.
Chris
wait.
Matthews.
Wait
Want to
a
hear
sec.
Chris Matthews? I could do that one.
Do a Chris Matthews. Do a Chris Matthews.
All right, let me stop you right there. Okay, first of all, what does Chris Rock have to do with this? I mean, first of all, Chris Rock, he's a Shagitz, okay, and so am I. But that's besides the point. Look, guys, I'm running out of toilet paper here in my basement, and I'm freaking out over it. I mean, I even went to my local shul. I said, look, I'll make a donation. I'll pray. I'll even toivel in the mikveh. Just get me some toilet paper, for crying out loud. We should start like a new bracha or something.
Okay, I have a question for Joe Biden. Now, you might not want to answer this one, but you know, let's see how like where it goes. So, Mr. Biden, how can you tell a difference between when you're at a rally or alone in your basement in terms of crowd size? How do you tell the two apart?
I forgot. I don't remember where I was.
There you go.
Who-
Yeah.
who is this? Oh, hey, good to see you, Joe. Oh, that's me.
Mr. Biden, it's me. It's Barack. Can you see me? It's Barack. I was your president. I'd like if you just stop quoting me as your the reasons for all the bad things you did. Can you just address that I do not support you?
Which president are you talking to?
I'm talking to my former vice president. Talking about Mr. Biden.
If I could chime in just for a moment, because I think Joe's suffering from dementia, so I'll just take it from here. I believe that you made the right choice by not endorsing Joe, because Joe doesn't even know where he is. He couldn't tell the difference between a mikveh and a shtibel.
We're taking questions from the audience. So far, nothing. Do you want him to do any other impressions? I want to hear Ehud Barak.
Shalom, תודה לכם. Sorry, I have to speak in English. As you
That's
know,
great.
this is very hard because when I talk, I spit, and nothing I could do, אין מה לעשות. סליחה. קודם כל, yes, as you know, because of the 6-foot rule, with me it's 27 feet, because when I talk, I could make an entire crowd go wet. It's like a Gallagher concert. Mine is all the So it's a very hard thing, but it's one of the reasons why I'm not the prime minister, because all the world leaders would be afraid of me because I would make them drenched.
I have a question for Hillary Clinton. Did you actually lose the election or did you win it?
And where those
Hillary-
emails?
Oh my.
Where's 3,000
threw a
emails?
book at me. Well, that's you're gonna have to ask her because she's, she's maintaining her Shamarnagia.
All right, we have time for one more question.
What would Ross Perot say about this whole situation? I wonder.
Now, folks, if you can keep up with me, I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. You see, we got this terrible disease called corona. And if you hear that big sucking sound, that's all those jobs that are going basically underground because there's nothing we can do about it. We're all living under quarantine, folks. You understand what I'm saying here?